So today we're going to make one of these, which is like a Christmas bauble you can hang on your tree. It's really easy to make. You might have these kind of shaker card dome things, I don't know what you call them. You might have those already in your stash. If you don't, you might have packaging potentially that you could use. You know, when we buy things, packaging, and it has like a dome shaped acetate cover to it or whatever, you might be able to use one of those. You could really get creative. So these are actually some that I was given, and they were, you know, there's purposed for being used as shaker cards. But yeah, I just thought it might be quite fun to do something else with them. So I've just filled it with some little silver, white and gold glitter balls. These were from DRK Crafts. I'll put a link up on the screen and also in the description below for them. If you use my code LouiseMakes, you'll get yourself 5% off your order. And they've got a lot of Black Friday deals on at the time of filming. I don't know whether by the time this goes up those will still be on, but they've got some good deals on there anyway, and last time I checked these balls were quite a good price anyway, even without deals. So yeah, so it's nice and see-through. I've put some little peel-offs that I had in. So yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so for this project you're going to need some of these. Now these, I've never had these before. I actually got given these, and they're like domed elements for shaker cards, and I got given this pack. So you've got square ones, like clover shaped ones, and I think they're hexagons, but you can get round ones, you can get all different sizes online. Now I have tried to link below some links to some that I saw on Amazon. They might be slightly different because these are not really like, they're kind of domed, but they've kind of, the ones I saw on Amazon were more like literally a dome, but actually they'd be better for what we're doing here. But you know, you can get different ones basically. So I've got 2 of them, and these did come with cards that have little apertures cut out in the right size, so you can actually make cards out of them. So you could use this same technique using the card blanks and make a card out of it. So that's another option. But I thought, let's make a little decoration. Nice and easy to do. So I'm going to be using, got a big box here full of bells. This is all from one of my demo days. But I've also got these snowballs. These little gold, silver and white iridescent polystyrene balls with glitter on. Now these are DRK Crafts, and they do have them on their website. When I checked at the weekend, they did have them. So we're going to be using those. We're also going to be using this pom-pom trim, and again this was from DRK Craft, so it was a Dove Craft, I believe. I think it was a Heltz couple ditch, and I'm not sure whether DRK have got them on their site anymore. If they have, I will list it below. If not, I will try and list an Amazon link for, or even Craft Stash, they might have them as well. I'll have a look and see, and I'll put links down below if I can find any of this. But you could use anything. I have actually got some paper chase ribbon that's kind of like pastel colours with like tassel-y type things on them. And again, you could use anything like that, any kind of like trim, nice kind of trim, or even sequin trim you could use, anything like that really. So we're going to start with these 2 here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some red tape, and I've got the super thin stuff. I'm not sure where this massive roll came from. My craft lady gave it to me, but I don't know what company it came from, but it's a massive great roll, but it's quite thin. So I'm going to run a thin of red tape just all the way around on this flat bit of this aperture here. So I've done that there, and I'm also going to add one more line just on one of the sides on this other side. I'm not actually going to do it all the way around, but because of where the ribbon is going to be, I do need to just add another little bit in, just so that then the ribbon is trapped. So talking of ribbon, let us get that on. So let's grab my pin, and then I'm just going to peel off the backing on this one. Just make sure it's really well stuck down before you start trying to peel off backings. And then I've cut myself out a little bit of ribbon, and this is about about 8 inches, 7 inches, like that. And I'm folding it in half. In fact, let's do one bit first actually. Let's just do one bit. So we're going to take this and we're going to stick this down halfway, like that. And I'm just going to run a little bit more red tape over the top of that piece, and then stick the other one on the top, because otherwise there's nothing in between, and you then potentially got a gap where the contents of your bauble, I'll call it a bauble for now, or decoration, can escape. So we're going to run a little bit of red tape just over the top there like that. Again, just make sure it's nicely stuck down. Take the backing off, and then we're going to fold this in half and just stick that over the top like that. So there you've got your little hangy thing. And then we are going to, and I think the best way to do is to fill this one up. So we're going to fill this side up, and you really could fill it with anything. Now, depending on the size of your domes, you could potentially fill this with chocolates. I was planning to do that. I was going to put Quality Street in here, but Quality Street are a little bit big for this. I did think about Lindor balls as well, but again, they're a bit too deep. But some of the domed ones you can get on Amazon are deeper. So if you get a deeper one that's more of a dome, then you could actually get some decent chocolates in here. So I'm just going to go with little polystyrene balls. Mine's going to be more of a decorative bauble rather than a functional, it's got sweets in it bauble. And I'm just going to put a whole load in here. So I'm going to put some in, and I'm going to fill it quite full, because you have to remember that although you're filling, you know, that's like pretty much almost level, you're going to put another one on top, so they're going to have more space to move. And you do want them to have a bit of space, but you just don't want, like, you know, loads of space and no little balls anywhere. So we're just going to put those in like that. If you wanted to, you could whack a bell in as well. I'm not going to, I don't think. I'm just going to leave it with baubles. And I think I'm going to go with that many. And then we're going to go ahead, and I think we will take, now part of me wants to do this bit by bit, and I want to take them off bit by bit. However, I think the best bet is going to be to take them all off, because I feel that I might have a bit of a problem doing them bit by bit. So I'm going to take them all the backing off now, and hopefully this won't backfire. Put all this off like this, and then we're going to grab this. Now just remember, you might have static, so they might suddenly jump up and start sticking on here, so just bear that in mind. So we're going to bring this in, and we're going to try and seal this as best we can, making sure that all the edges line up. And then we're just going to go over, give it a really good press down all the way around like that. So as you can see, when it's upright, you see I've literally, it's half full. It's literally half full. But I don't mind. I mean, I probably would have filled it a bit more than that. The other way you could do it is you could just seal the bottom half, hold it up so you can see, and then add more in if you want to. I'm going to leave it like that. It's fine, because I think I've got a bit of a plan as to what we can do so that it's not completely blank. I like the fact you've got a bit of room. But what I wanted to do as well was around this outside here, I wanted to stick some of this, because I just thought that might be quite fun to have baubles. So we're going to add some more red tape. You could hot glue gun it. That might be a better way. It might stick better. I'm going to hot glue gun. I'm going to red tape it and hope for the best. So again, I'm just going to go ahead now and add red tape on the outside edge of my bauble. Okay, so I've put red tape all around the outside of both sides, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and let's work out where we're going to start. I think we'll probably actually, let's start at the top. Should we start at the top? Yeah, we'll start at the top. So if we take off the backing on this top section here, and then grab our pom-pom trim or whatever it is you're going to use, and I'm going to start in the middle because potentially I can hide the join with a bow. So we're going to start off there like that and stick it all the way around there, and then we're just going to keep going around every corner, sticking it down as we go. And it should, yeah, because it's got this kind of zigzaggy kind of a pattern, you know, the way it's been made, so it kind of goes around corners quite nicely. So I'm going to keep going all the way around. Okay, so that's that side done, and I'm going to repeat the same process on the other side as well. But this time what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and offset my pom-poms. So where I've got a pom-pom on this side, in between those two, I'm going to try and get this pom-pom to be in between. You don't have to do that, but I just like the the symmetry of it, and it might not work depending on how equally spaced they all are. But anyway, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a whirl and see. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not the end of the world. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done that, so that's worked quite well. So obviously you've got half of that free. So I think what we're going to do now, before we stick the bows on, I've got my hot glue gun heating up over here. I found a couple of bows. I would like gold ones, but I've gone for this kind of ivory creamy colour because I think that works as well. And then I've also found these Merry Christmas peel-offs. And we all have I'm sure we all have peel-offs in our stash that we just don't use. So I've gone for these, and I just think they're going to look really nice on the front of the bauble. And then on the back, I've found these little flowery, it came out of a Christmas set, but there's like little snow and, I don't know, snowflakes and little spinny flowery things. So I thought I could do that on the back. So I'm going to go ahead now and stick a Merry and a Christmas on the front. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added a Merry Christmas on the front there, and on the back I've just put a few little snowflakey, flowery, I don't know what they are, things on there. So now I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue gun our little bow onto the top. So there you have your finished little bauble. So nice and easy to make, a little bit fiddly in places, but it all depends on what you use. Obviously you could fill that a little bit more if you wanted to, and also you could put chocolates in. I quite like the fact they're static. Normally we don't really like static, but I quite like the fact they're kind of hanging on. You can actually can even trace them with your finger. Look, ooh, it's like a little game. This is, look, whee! The fun you can have with Christmas decorations. But yeah, quite a nice little thing. I quite like the pom-pom trim. It's turned out quite well actually. I'm quite impressed with myself. So here we go. Yeah. So I probably would have filled it maybe a little bit more, although I don't mind it, it's fine. But yeah, so there you go, look quite nice. And this whole thing, because obviously it depends on what size pouches you get, but the one that I've got here, the whole thing as well with the pom-poms, you're measuring about 5.5 inches at its widest point. So it's a decent kind of decoration, but it's super light. Like, it's really light, it's not heavy. So although it's a big decoration, I think this would be quite good as well for maybe, like, you know, baby's first Christmas or something like that. You could put a picture of them in there, maybe have it stuck on the back one, and then you could maybe put something on the back to cover it up, or I don't know, you could have it so it's halfway. You could have like an inner with the baby's picture on both sides, and then have, you know, snowflakes, or I don't know, sequins or whatever you want on it. So it's quite flexible. You can do all sorts of things with it, but it's just something to do, because I'm sure some people have probably bought these, you know, in the past and then just didn't end up using them. But it's just quite a nice easy way to sort it, especially if you bought them thinking you'd use them as shaker cards but then didn't have dies that would fit that you could cut out with. So this is just a good way of using them. You haven't got to worry about die cuts, you can just, you know, use them. The other thing as well is packaging as well. You know, sometimes you get dies and things and they got packaging and there's acetate on the front and it's raised slightly because you've got the die underneath it or whatever it was. You could use it again for that. So again, another little idea so you don't have to buy things. But yes, I hope you enjoyed it today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!